Aloha beautiful beings, thanks for tuning in. So today I'm going to be talking about the Indigo children and what we came here to do, because we were the first wave of volunteers that came down to Earth, and we came here with a collective mission. We have this warrior spirit to fight the system and to it's like it's a warrior state of mind, but we know the mission is about the collective ascension towards love and harmony where we came from. And the Indigo children are very intuitive, they're old souls, they've had many lifetimes here on Earth most of the time. But our mission was to pave the way, so a lot of us had like a massive like world flipping awakening in our lifetime where we went from, eating GMO food, drinking fluoride water to, not caring about our bodies into a completely different lifestyle where we're crystallizing ourselves now. So the Indigos paved the way for the newer star seeds to come in, like the crystals and the rainbows, and the first wave of Indigos were like the baby boomer generation. It was like the counterculture revolution, and they had this very revolutionary like spirit to fight against the system with. And I personally am one of the later Indigos, and something I've noticed is that like our auras, right? And the newer ones have like a bluer, more maybe green with some purple aura, and the later ones have, as it progresses, is like a whole spectrum. It's not just one shade, So the later Indigos have more like of an indigo blue purple, like towards that spectrum more than like the bright blue. And for me, I'm in the process of crystallization, like activating my own crystalline DNA, which is the Christ consciousness information. It's the junk DNA that 98% of is like completely disregarded in science because it's non-physical. But there's so much like spiritual energy that has been suppressed because of this false information. So now there's actually more crystals incarnating at this time, and rainbow children too. Most of the time the crystal children are often children of the Indigo children, and the rainbows are often children of the crystals. So it's called crystals because once you ascend through the chakras, once Indigo becomes purple, it becomes this white light, and the crystalline is like it becomes rainbow, which is the last stage, right? So something I've been learning about is the diamond light body activation, and as you know, we're carbon beings and diamonds are made from carbon. So crystallizing our carbon into diamond forms is also the final part of the Indigo mission, So thank you to my fellow Indigos for being the brave ones to come in and do the dirty work the first time around, but we still got reprogramming our DNA to do too. I personally feel like Indigos have like one of the hardest blueprints. I mean, because I am one, I guess, but we have to go through this awakening process, and then once that's done, our job isn't done yet. We still have to crystallize ourselves so we can go with them. But the fact that you incarnated at this time, some of the newer starseeds are all about love and light, and they don't like to be around any sort of negativity, whether it's involving truth. As soon as you start talking about adrenochrome or some like priest eating baby shit or some Vatican shit, the Rothschilds and reptilians and all that, it's not really about introducing fear, because the Indigos are a lot more aware of like the shadow aspects of everything, because that's our mission. Our mission is to expose this information. So when the newer starseeds come in, they have a different job. It's to anchor in the crystalline grid. It's to bridge, like the rainbow warriors, the rainbow children that are much later, their job is to bridge us into this new world from their existence. And the fact that they are here now with us is like proof that we are already in this shift, as you know. So yeah, this is kind of crazy. Does anybody else feel like you've been waiting your whole lifetime for this moment that we're in right now? Because I am beyond stoked, and it's just seeing it day by day progress, the physical changes, and it's like finally here, because when you're an Indigo and you're tuned in intuitively, your third eye is open, you sense things before they happen, you know what people's intentions are. It's like you see into different worlds and you're able to see things happening, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't link up with where the physical is. And my whole life I felt like everything happened at it's so slow. I know I came here for a reason, but yeah, all the children of New Earth that are volunteers that came here, we all have the same collective mission, but different avenues of doing it. So Indigos have more of this like paving the way, you know, tearing down the system. It's definitely a more I would say like masculine job in nature. How we were raised, you know, we most likely had parents that were unconscious. We probably got vaccinated at some point. We probably were fed GMO food growing up. And a lot of the crystal children are different because since birth, they might have been born at home in a water birth. They might have been like, no, it was just they were raised differently, so their DNA is intact and it's activated from the beginning because it was never tainted to begin with. But the Indigos are like the breakthrough point, where in this lifetime we break all the past generational curses. It's also like so dark night of the soul is something that a lot of us are going through right now, and people who have been running from themselves, they got to be tuning in at this point. Because, you know, Lilith and Chiron are conjuncting. You know, Lilith and Chiron are conjuncting in Aries, and Aries it rules the head. It's also the crown chakra. So think about that. Lilith is about the darkness. It's the dark side of the moon. It's the shadow feminine that most people never see in other people. And it's a side that you're also in tune with because it has so much power to the subconscious part of yourself that has a lot of power to rule your conscious world. So, and Chiron is the wounded healer. It's like the asteroid that is about the part that you're good at healing in other people, but you're not good at healing in yourself. So, when they conjunct, it's like a massive dark night of the soul for the people who have been avoiding the work. And I just want to say that you gotta stay in the heart. You gotta really, you know, now is the time to be forgiving yourself. In a Hawaiian prayer that I wanted to share is Ho'oponopono. It translates to, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And usually I would say it 3 times when I'm touching the earth and, you know, moving that energy out of me and finding forgiveness for myself and people in the past, because you can't move forward with a heavy heart. Your heart has to be lighter than a feather. As y'all know, we're all in this together, and we gotta stay strong, stay in the heart. Remember, this is spiritual warfare, and it's about our minds. The best way that we can fight is standing in our light and not letting anything that they're doing affect us. And we're winning. We already won, but there's still work to be done. I hope this message was helpful, and I hope to see you on the other side.